Welcome to Sermons on the Side. I'm Brad.
And I'm Richard.
And life can move pretty fast, so we're here to slow down, dig deep, and find the story hidden in everyday moments.
With years spent in ministry, friendship, and navigating real life together, we're all about blending humor, honesty, and faith into conversations that meet you right where you are.
So whether you're brand new or you're back for more, we are so glad you are here.
So relax, listen in, and let's discover meaning together.
In the ordinary, the messy, and everything in between.
Sermons on the Side, finding meaning in the everyday.
My faith feels more like a foundation built on rock now, rather than before, where there's just question marks everywhere. Not saying there's not question marks now.
Sure.
But you can't tell me that God can't do this.
Amen. Come on.
Whether it be big or small.
Whatever this is.
All right, and welcome to Sermons on the Side. Listen, this
You're already laughing.
Wow,
You're already laughing.
We've
I can't
lost
hold
our
them.
guest. We have a guest on this 55th episode of Sermons on the Side, and the first words that came out of my mouth, we lost him.
You're surrounded by redheads tonight.
Oh, that's right,
dog,
man.
You're in trouble.
That is right. Listen, we promise you guys every 5 episodes we're going to have a guest or something special. So sure enough, we got something special on this episode, and I'm going to allow Mr. Brad Williams to do the introduction.
Well, I appreciate you, Richard. Yeah, it is a very special episode, not just because it's a fantastic interview with a fantastic guest, but it is with one of my lifelong and longest tenured best friends, Mr. Evan Hinson. Evan Hinson.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm coffeed up.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
ready to ride.
Yeah, at the time of recording this is way past all of our bedtimes.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
'cause, You know, but hey,
I'm sorry. I just fell asleep for a
But
second.
I appreciate you being here, dude. Listen, folks. Just so you know, I know we've had some really incredible guests from Richard's connections and friends from the past, and maybe this is kind of one of my first kind of true kind of points of bringing somebody on the show. But more so than anything, dude, dog, you and I have shared a lot of life together, and I just want the people to know.
Come on now.
Like, it's really special. I'll say this, and I'm curious, Richard, if you have friends like this in your life. Do you have friends? Because this is true of Evan and I.
Mm-hmm.
We share more memories that I've forgotten than I remember. I mean, that's just the truest statement.
Bro, I hear you. And I do have friends, but they are few. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a rare thing.
But Evan and I, we have been friends since we were in elementary school. We went to the same church. We were part of the same youth group. We served in the same ministries. We've been friends as we've entered into our young adult and now full-on adult stages of life.
Yes.
And I tell you what, we have flown to Kenya and back.
What?
We drove in a Camry to Texas and back to go watch a soccer game. That was like a 36-hour trip. That was brutal.
And I still smell the car. To this day.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
And then this is such a fantastic. We don't have time to dive into all of these stories, but there was a time that Lisa and I were doing we were leading worship for a retreat in Panama City.
Oh, there you go.
And there was a really awesome World Cup game that was going on. And to that point, Evan and I had watched every single World Cup game in that cycle together.
Yep.
Big
Okay.
deal. All right,
And,
you're on
and
a
here we
streak.
are. How dare me go down to Florida to serve the Lord in this
minister,
capacity?
right, yeah.
So you know what this man did? This man drove down to Florida, and we took a break from the camp. We watched it together. It got late in the night, so he just decided to spend the night with us. But the problem
Was there a bed for this young man?
Lisa and I were in one of those rooms with like 27 bunk beds.
Oh, precious. Yeah.
So Evan just slept in one of the bunk beds.
I did.
He's probably got no pillow. He's got no sheets. He's just fully clothed up.
I was 2 feet away from their sleeping quarters. And
is
I said
special.
sorry to Lisa so many times, but she was a champ, which she always is a champ. But
And that's the truth.
that was great.
So
You
we've been
guys have
friends,
so many miles
Yeah.
on the tires.
roommates.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Road trippers
Give
together.
me one of your
Global.
memories. I'm sure I'm forgetting.
Oh man, this isn't like a silly one. This is what I tell everybody about our journey.
Yeah.
And what you mean to me is when we went to church together back in like middle school, which we've always had like a couple year age gap. So like the paradox of me and Brad is like I've always seen him as like a friend, a brother, a role model. Like it's kind of like it's almost seasonal what kind of like relationship
Yeah.
we're in.
Okay,
It's
that
pretty
makes
interesting. But Brad walked up with me at our church to get baptized.
Dude.
And that was a cool moment, and I still remember it to this day. But it was just like, that was in middle school, and it was like I want to get baptized, yeah. But you almost didn't. You knew what was going on, but not really at the same time, you know. So that's why I was like, dude, if Brad goes with me, I'm good to go, baby. Like, and so I think that's kind of like where it started for me. And we've just had so many great memories since. Yeah, watching World Cup games, whether it be the men or the women. The women's is usually more
We
entertaining.
get hyped for that.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that time you came to Panama City, it was for the Women's World Cup.
Yep,
Actually,
yep.
that's exactly
And
what
they
it was.
win more of the championships. A question about, because you said just even in youth ministry related efforts, not just the retreat or the camp in PCB. But so my question is, are you a singer? Did you ever sing together?
Do you want me to?
Do you
want me to prove it right here?
You play an instrument?
No,
Bring
we
it.
don't want you.
Bring it right now.
Listeners, I equate to Richard's sound, if that helps with anything. So no,
That answers the
I'm
question.
Not really a
I
singer.
love that he just got to dig at you while he was saying that.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks
awesome.
a lot, bud.
Sorry,
Oh,
man.
dude, man, that
Sorry.
was so encouraging to me. And man,
right?
You weren't expecting that, were you?
I was not.
Oh, buddy, I had
And
that one on deck.
That's awesome.
You were ready to roll.
Yep.
Well, in just a few minutes, we're going to ask you to take us through an amazing, wild story about, a super important, critical time in your life. But before we get to that and get to that story, can you let us know just what was your life like leading up to this really critical event that you'll tell us about in a little bit? What was what was in your mind in terms of like you thinking about the future? Like where did you see your life going?
Yeah.
Back then.
Okay. Before all of that, let's just start there. I was in school. I was in college, and I was getting like an exercise science degree. I thought I kind of wanted to do physical therapy because I was like into sports and exercise, and you could kind of put them both together. And but I was working at a clinic, like an outpatient clinic, that I just was like, man, I just don't know if I want to do this for the rest of my life. But I was already like, 3/4 of the way into my degree. It's like, oh well, and really with an exercise science degree, the only future is kind of to go to PT school, or you can be like a trainer, and like trainers don't, you're not really making much money being a trainer. So, so I was just kind of like in a lull with that. I was doing I've always been into fitness. So I was doing a bunch of like CrossFit type stuff, and it was fun. And but I just like there was a lot of questions of, is this like, what's my purpose? Is this really what I want to do? There was a lot of questions up in the air, and I was like 22, 23. I'm getting to the point where I'm still living at home. I need to I want to move out soon. That's not even possible because I have no money. And but I've always like known that there was something great for me on the other side. I just didn't know what that really meant.
Wow.
But I had a lot of like mentors in my life that they just saw a lot in me, but they had that same perspective of like, I see something in you. I just don't know if you know what it is, but it's there, it's there. And so I just like the path was there was just a lot of questions.
I gotcha.
and I just didn't really know what my identity was. I had tried a lot because I grew up in the church, but I had tried nonstop to really almost force my identity in Christ and really like go to these retreats, come back on Monday, and I'm going to be ready to go, and we're going to hit the ball rolling, and I'm going to just pray every day and get my Bible, and first fruits are just now part of me, and so I mean, I just convinced myself that was eventually going to happen for me. I had seen it for other people, and I wanted that more than anything. But I just wanted to just come out of thin air. And when that didn't happen, I was like discouraged. And it just made me frustrated about, well, I've seen this happen in other people's lives. I feel like I really have asked God for this. I really want this in my life. And it's just not happening. So, and I'm a high energy, high emotional guy. Gotcha. And I ride momentum like crazy. And so when the going is good, we're just on top of the world. Yeah. And I can, we can keep that momentum and just ride with it, and I'm good to go. But then we come home from one of those weekends and nothing really changes. Yeah. And now there's no momentum. And I'm like, well, how do
opposite momentum, snowball into
and I'm like, okay, well, I don't even know where to start from here. I have no idea I've lost my identity. I found it this weekend because everything was great, and now when I come home, I just I'm just looking for the wrong things, ultimately. Gotcha. And so that was all pre that. I think we'll kind of circle back to that.
Yeah, and I love how you just use that word identity, because I know so much of the after effect of this story has really, shaped that. So I'm going to turn this over to you in just a second to talk about the events that took place on December 8th, 2017. Now, fully recognize that this is a very sensitive and special story that you are sharing with us. And also recognize that there are certainly times, especially in these first few days, that you might not quite, frankly, remember. But Friday, December 8th, 2017, walk us through what happened, man.
December 8th, 2017, I have no idea what happened. And so, so there's probably, I would say 2 weeks leading up to that day that I also do not remember.
Really? Wow.
And I think the only reason I remember 2 weeks before is because I did like a big fitness competition, and it was almost like it's just something that's easy to remember.
Sure.
Because it was like, high energy, high emotion, impact.
Big landmark moment.
Right. It's easy to remember. You don't remember like what you ate on Wednesday of that week.
Sure.
But so I think like, really if that didn't happen, there's probably months that I may not remember before that. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But so, that day I don't remember, like a weeks before I don't remember. Obviously starting from December 8th to, maybe the 19th or 20th of December, obviously I don't remember because I was in a medically induced coma. So like there's probably a month of that I don't have any recollection of. So yep.
Well, on December 8th, what I recall is receiving a very frantic phone call from another one of my lifelong best friends, which just happens to be your oldest sister.
The goat.
Is she that awesome?
Yes, she is that awesome.
Never met her.
She is.
You've never met Haley? Haley Hinson?
I don't know. I must meet this person.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great, man. She's a redheaded Lisa.
Oh,
wow!
She just
fantastic.
She is. They both have like what they're individually great at. And Lisa is a sweetheart, but Haley she has a pure soul, like it's just absolute pure soul, and she does way too much for other people, and I try to tell her all the time.
But she was the one that reached out to you, Brad.
Yeah, she reached out to a lot of that inner circle that first night, that Friday night, that Evan had some sort of heart attack, and that he was on life support and he's in the ER in Columbus, and to get there quick. And so life stopped very
This
quickly.
is on a Friday
It's on a
evening,
Friday
you
evening,
said?
Friday afternoon, evening.
Okay.
And by the time that obviously your family, and then we were just so blessed in that season of life to have a really, really close community of friends that felt like family. And so we took over the ER in a big way. But at the time, only 2 people could go back there, and it was strictly reserved for family only.
Right.
And the news that we were getting was that he is unconscious, he is unresponsive, and that things are looking bad. And so fast forward to that next morning, and we get to the hospital very early, and I mean, I don't know if any of us slept that night, and we're just waiting for some sort of glimmer of hope. And the news that we're receiving is, it's not just that there's no hope, it's quite frankly the opposite.
Really?
We have organs shutting down.
My goodness.
We are trending into in the direction of death. And so they made a last ditch call on that Saturday to life flight you to Atlanta. And at the time, it was actually like a little snow flurry. I remember your dad outside against policy and pushing his way through, seeing you fly off in the helicopter, actually snagged a short little video, and then probably going 90-0 on the interstate to try to beat you there. And anyways, fast forward a little bit further, we're now all in Atlanta, and Evan is on life support doing an ECMO machine, and the ECMO machine essentially takes all the blood out of your body, puts it in this machine, oxygenates it, throws it back into your body. How'd I do, Coach?
That's pretty good, man.
Pretty good?
Not bad.
I had no idea such a machine existed.
I'm not gonna lie, I held my breath there,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Wow, he's got
I
this
did
right."
it. Prepared and everything.
Gotcha.
Crushed it.
And over the course of a few days, all of a sudden there was a turn. All of a sudden his organs are responding. All of a sudden he is responding to some hand squeezes.
Okay.
All of a sudden he is coming to, and he's able to kind of hold a conversation. All of a sudden he is standing and walking. All of a sudden it looks like, oh, by the way, he is going to be home in time for Christmas morning. And it was just an absolute miracle. And
gracious.
I don't know. I honestly, Evan, it's hard for me to even remember what was the medical event that took place that you were told.
Yeah, so you could call it's called a sudden cardiac arrest, you know, when it really doesn't have like a real known cause.
Right.
Because that's something that I guess they just never really were able to find out, like the why, which is a little unsettling, but, you know, it is what it is. And so a little, I guess, pathophysiology about it. You know, heart attacks are usually you have some kind of blockage in an artery. You can go in there and open it up with a stent or something like that, and you're good to go. You know, and I went through all those precautions. I was taken to the cath lab. You know, the cath was clean. There's nothing blocking to where his heart shouldn't be able to squeeze, stuff like that. So I was put on a balloon pump machine that kind of helps oxygenate your arteries, allows your heart to rest a little bit. It's kind of was just like, let's just put him on this until we can find the next step. And when that wasn't really doing much, that was the call of like, okay, the only other option is to get him to a higher level of care that we can't provide here in Columbus. And so, and the quickest way to do that is to fly. I'm surprised they did fly me because of the weather. You know, usually they just do.
It was crazy.
Yeah. So the ECMO thing is just a bridge therapy.
Yeah.
It's only there as we need to put you on it for a couple number of hours or maybe a couple of days till we figure out what to do next. Which the next thing is either a heart transplant, which is what they were talking about, which would have been wild. Or
that was on the table.
Yeah. Right. That was definitely on the table.
Right.
And So, just a blessing that ECMO obviously worked, so.
Well, it's really remarkable hearing that first 24 hours. That was wild, wasn't it? I mean, because you're getting, as you were describing, all this bad news, and that decision was, let's get him somewhere that can do this really advanced kind of procedure on that machine.
Right.
And so it sounds like within 24 hours, you're up there.
Yeah.
Or by Saturday evening, maybe?
Correct. Yeah. It was, about the 24-hour
mark,
they made the call.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so I have seen, Brad showed me, I think, something from a photo that may have been posted on Facebook by you or a family member for when they were kind of telling some before and after. And so I've seen a picture of you in the hospital bed.
Yeah, with all the stuff
Hooked
kind of.
up to all the things. So I'm curious what it's like, especially since, as you said, you don't have actual memory of this time frame of these days. What's it like to see that picture? That's wild.
At first, it was definitely eye opening. I can't imagine like seeing one of my family members, my sisters, in that position. Bro. I don't even know what I would. I'd be screaming at the doctors like, "Figure it out right now," But now being in the medical field, being a nurse, and working the ER with very sick patients, ICU patients, and working the cath lab that does these type of procedures, like looking at it now. I'm just like, that's an everyday thing for for those types of patients, But so it's really cool. It is cool now because I get to do the exact same thing that they did for me, and it's almost like I'm allowed I guess you could say that gift is just like being to provide that, and now like when people ask, I can give a real example of like, oh, but I have been this sick, and it's no. I do know what you're going through. Like, I know you feel bad, and I know what you're going through, and especially talking to family, like I know what you're feeling right now. And I would love to give you answers, but there's just not any. And so for like my mom and dad and sisters to hear that, I can imagine what that was like, But it almost is like easier to do that because of just my history with all that. So
that's a great point, and I want to double click on that because something that happened about a year after this. It was towards the end of 2018. The Lord did a work in Evan's life, inserted some sort of gizmo in his, what is it, a pace defibrillator or something?
It's an ICD.
It's an ICD. Yep. But it just allowed him to go right back to normal. In fact, not just back to normal, this new and improved version of him, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. But about the year mark, and I know that you'll remember this. This is a fantastic memory, and I want to know kind of how this, or not so much this, but what led to the springboard to the direction that you're on now to kind of catch us up on this kind of post leaning into your identity. But you and I, along with 2 or 3 of our other really, really close friends, I know Trey, Matthew, Robert. It might have been just us 5,
maybe, yeah.
But we, at about the 1 year mark, went on a trip. We took about a whole day.
Okay.
And we drove to Columbus, or we went to the hospital in Columbus, and we walked the halls, and we showed Evan the seats that we were sitting in, the little prayer chapel where we were just broken before the Lord, intercessing on him to make a way. And then we drove up to Atlanta. And we walked the halls of the 2 hospitals.
Oh, dude.
Evan got a chance at some point to meet some of the nurses that took care of him at a different time when he went and walked it with his mom. We got to show him the little lobby that we slept in for days waiting for updates from the hospital. This is where we had dinner. This vending machine every night, Right. And it was just such a beautiful moment. And I know that, like, the events of that following year has just springboarded you into the incredible life that you're living now. And so all of those questions and those pain points that you were experiencing before, they seem like a distant memory.
Yep.
Because here you are. And so catch us up. What are you now? Like what did that cause you to become?
My faith feels more like a foundation built on rock now,
yes.
rather than before, where there's just question marks everywhere. Not saying there's not question marks now,
Sure.
but you can't tell me that God can't do this.
Amen. Come on.
Whether it be big or small,
Whatever this is. Yes.
Now I am not the one that will be throwing verses out of memory at you, but you can't tell me that anymore. You know, I'm like, do I have a story?
Yes.
You know, and that's not to throw like any. You know, that's I don't want that to come off as prideful or anything. Of like, man, you got to hear my story. No. And how I like to tell people this is like when people ask, I say, well, go talk to my family because I don't really know, but they will. You go talk to them, and they'll tell you an incredible miracle.
Yes,
you know, and so yeah, that's the number one thing.
Amen.
And two, which I have, you know, there's a lot of just kind of vantage points on this, but it obviously springboarded me into the inpatient medical field, working as a nurse in the hospital.
You went back to school.
Yeah. So I remember like when my grandpa would go, he would have reoccurring pneumonia and go to the ER a lot. We would go and visit him, and I'd just be sitting there and was like, this is just like, who would want to work here? Like, who would want to be an ER nurse?
Right.
This place just is like, nobody's happy. It's always busy. There's sick people everywhere. And now, like, that was the first thing I did was work in the ER as a tech and then a nurse, like during COVID. And I was like, dude, this is where I'm supposed to be, baby. Like, this is it. This is so great. And like, I just remember I had chills the first time I did like CPR on somebody, just because, I mean, I just pictured like me being, I mean, literally the first patient I pictured me laying there and like somebody, you know, using their skills to bring me back. It was just, I mean, it was an out of body experience. And now, you know, that's just feels like an everyday thing for me now. But, and then like, you know, a third thing is what I touched on before about like, you know, before all this happened was I just was always looking for some kind of mountaintop experience, and I just wanted to ride that momentum. And this, I want to say this correctly, I wanted my story to be a mountaintop experience. Like I wanted it to have so much like impact on me and other people. And almost when we came full circle, maybe a couple months, almost a year later, and because I was told by a bunch of people like, oh, somebody's going to reach out to you to like write a book. Like your story is just incredible. Like you're going to touch so many people. And then months down the road, that didn't really happen. I was like, man, if I can't like, if this story can't impact my life or somebody else's, like what can, like I almost got discouraged.
Okay.
And the same feeling I had before.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so that realization was like, okay, Evan, if that mountaintop experience or that story is not going to change your life, stop looking for that. And this is why I love y'all's podcast, because I started to find my faith in the everyday mundane.
Come on.
And like consistency was my word for last year. And I pushed myself to, hey, when you say you're going to show up, show up. When your family wants to reach out and talk to them. When like, you know, if you like be more present at church, find a Bible study, talk to somebody about your faith, challenge yourself, but do the everyday, and let's just see what happens. You know. And the church I go to, Church of the Highlands, they're just huge on give us a year of your life, and let's just see what happens, you know?
Yeah, right.
And that was my challenge. It was just like, stop looking for this huge experience to transform your life and just give it to God a little bit every day, and let's just find out what happens, you know? And I think, and I'm getting chills thinking about it, because when I started to ride that momentum daily,
Yeah, come on.
I was like, dude, we're just riding high.
Yes.
And it is such a great feeling to know that, you know what, today might have just not been my day, but tomorrow we're going back at it, baby.
Dude,
we're going to try again.
First of all, holy cow.
Right?
I've got to just pause this episode and rewind it 10 minutes and listen to all of that again.
Yeah.
So beautifully said. These 3 identity points that have springboarded you out of this season. One, a faith that's built on the rock. Mm-hmm. This ministerial approach to going back into the medical field and serving the very people that you once were. And then at the very end of this, realizing that it had nothing to do with the story at all. And it had to do with those daily decisions of following after Christ and finding God in the everyday. Oh my goodness, dude.
Yep.
Thank you
Holy.
for pouring your heart out like that, because I just know that there are listeners, the folks that are listening to this right now, and they're amazed by the story, and they probably would love to sit down with all your family members and Brad and your friends and hear more about those days and the prayers and the desperate hands and knees begging God to do a miracle. And then the miracle started. Or the way Brad was saying, just incrementally things started getting better. And I just, man, I know people are listening and they're amazed by the story, but I also know that a lot of us really needed to hear the aftermath stuff that you just said, and to be challenged.
Stop
To stop looking for this big thing.
Stop waiting and just go find it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's right there, you know?
bro.
And
I stand at the door, knock. Yes, open the door.
If it's not today, it might be there tomorrow. And if it's not there tomorrow, just, dude, I mean, the page turner for me was recognizing that I didn't need this huge, transformation moment in my life.
Come on.
And once I recognized that and started just searching for that and being disappointed when I couldn't find it, that is when, that's when it changed. That's when it all changed. And
Yes.
and I also am I find this in other things, which just helps me kind of circle back that this is the ultimate truth in my life, and I just need to stick with that. And
that resonates with me. The way you just said that.
Yeah.
That this is a foundational truth in your life.
Yep.
And you started this post-event description a few moments ago saying, my faith is the foundation of my faith is on solid ground. You are built, and that truth is part of that foundation. I mean, that is isn't it wild? Obviously, you have the miracle story about what happened and how God came through. But isn't it wild that your story, your true story,
Come on.
is this everyday consistency thing, no longer chasing a big event, a big one thing.
Right.
But just the everyday. And you told me before, as you were kind of introducing yourself, you were saying, I'm a momentum guy.
Yeah.
And the Lord provided it for you
Yes.
in a very unlikely way.
Yes. Yep.
In the normal,
Yeah.
in the regular,
he was
in
almost
the
like
everyday.
Yeah, he was almost like, you're not gonna I'm gonna do this. But it's coming, and it's gonna change you.
Oh, dude.
So good.
And I'm really into running and fitness and stuff like that. And I mean, I just feed myself with like content from people who have this perspective, but in like a worldly view. And it's, I used to chase after, all right, what's the next big thing I can do? So I can like tell people that I've done it, whether it be like
an accomplishment or something.
Yeah, whether
like
it be like a half marathon or marathon or
Run across Georgia or something.
Or some kind of competition. And dude, like within the last year that I've just really leaned into this foundational truth, I've recognized that, man, I don't even really enjoy doing the race that much. But man, do I look forward to waking up tomorrow and just busting out a good training day. Like
it's the training and not the my goodness.
I just love grinding through just day after day of getting better. And I don't even really want to compete and race anymore. It's just like I get excited about just the day-to-day grind.
Dude,
I just love it.
That's a big change.
Yes.
What an encouragement.
And listen, we all need miracles, and we all have miracle kind of prayer lists. That's us around this table and all the folks that are listening. And so let's keep praying for those miracles and the things that we need. But I love just knowing that God is working a miracle of changing us.
Yes.
He can reshape our minds and our hearts, and that's what he wants. I mean, you're telling miracle stories here, but it's not just the medical miracle.
Come on.
Not just the physical healing. You're telling me that God is reshaping you, and that
absolutely
is a miracle.
So we talk about stories, and my goodness, Evan, your story is just so incredible. And all of our stories have highs and lows, mountaintops and valleys. 2020 was a valley story for me. And you are somebody that chose to stand by my side as a friend and put yourself in the line of fire. And I can't tell you how eternally grateful I am for you, not just for that year and for every year since, but for the blessing that you are to my family. And I don't know if you know this, Richard. 2020 was when we got to welcome our very first child into the world.
Oh,
That's right.
don't make me cry, man.
And it was in September of 2020. And I'm sure everybody can easily remember this was peak COVID. I mean,
it really
peak
was.
mask, peak 5 feet away, peak things were shut down. It's our first child. Family's not allowed in the hospital. We have to show our daughter through a window, and my family's standing in an alley. But wouldn't you know it? Who is doing a training rotation in that hospital?
Really?
And who was the first person outside of her mama and her daddy in our family, because you are part of the family,
That's right.
that got to hold Becca Joy? It was Evan Hinson.
I was there for 1 week at that hospital.
Seriously?
I had 1 week of L&D rotations at that hospital, and they just happened to be there. My sister texted me that morning, and it just said Evan ... And I knew exactly what she meant. I said, no freaking way.
And he came, knocked on the door, and said, "Can I come in?" I was like, "Dude, I mean, I almost started crying. Then I was like, "Yes, brother."
I went up to my clinical instructor, and I was like, I don't know if I'm about to break any rules, and I do not care.
Yeah,
but I'm going into that room, and we're taking care of that baby.
And so after, Evan got to come in while Becca was in the little warming chamber, and I think you even gave her her first shot.
I weighed her.
Stop it.
I weighed her. I gave her her
Seriously?
first shots. Yup.
Dude, so
Never done it before in my life. Do I need to ask?
What? Wait. What?
Never administered shots to anybody under probably 14 ever.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Tell me that. All right, I will say, I'm just letting you know right now, there's one very unhappy mama, my mama, who's listening to this right now, who's got jealousy in her heart for you.
What's
So she
this
loves
guy
you
doing?
and your family, but
sorry.
yeah, Kim Scarborough's
Oh, man.
not feeling,
Well, listen.
But
please,
if I just can't, I mean, that is such a beautiful part of, again, our entire journey. And if I can share on the podcast for our tens and tens of listeners, it is going to be another incredible honor and probably highlight of our friendship that here in just a couple of months, I'll be standing by your side on your wedding day.
That's right.
And just really excited for these next few
Yeah.
weeks. In fact, when this episode launches on February 12th, we will have just gotten back from your bachelor party.
That's
so
right.
Get out.
Yep.
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yep.
So, anyways, I think some incredible things going on in Evan's life, and man, you got a lot of sermon on the side listeners and fans that are praying and rejoicing and celebrating with you, man.
Absolutely. And I really want to just encourage all our listeners to just think on and meditate on Evan's story and how in this episode we've heard from you, of course, Evan, but we've also heard some of the background from Brad, giving the perspective of family and friends and during those very difficult days on that December. And so my hope is that all our listeners will be encouraged that we do serve a God of miracles and that we should never stop praying for him to move and break through in the difficult and dark times of our lives. And additionally, I hope all our listeners will recognize the miracles God is doing in the everyday.
Come on.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. That's
Thank
good.
you, Lord.
So good, dude.
Such good stuff. Now, Brad, is there anything else that we need to cover before we get to this?
I think we're ready for the no huddle, brother.
All right. So this is the deal. Evan, I understand you were not aware this was going to happen.
Not at all.
So this is we're just about to do what we like to call a no huddle
Okay.
wrap up to our interview.
Yeah.
Meaning,
It's a basketball term, right?
Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm
see?
kidding. I'm
Boy,
kidding.
here we go.
I'm kidding.
gosh, all right. No, we can edit that.
Now
out.
that football's over, I'm with
Right,
him, though.
yeah,
It's
right.
like, what is sports? Is it basketball?
Kidding.
So anyway, we call it no huddle because it's just rapid fire questions.
Yep.
We're asking you just to come to the line of scrimmage and just fire off your answers.
Okay.
We're not gonna gather and huddle and figure it out. Okay, so Evan Hinson, I'm asking you right now, what is the worst, gnarliest job you ever held in your life?
Ooh, I think ER nurse would be up there.
It's been this awesome blessing in your life, and yet it's the gnarliest.
When you said gnarly, gnarly
Okay,
is
that's
almost
good.
just
That's a
like
good
you
point.
think of like, oh, that's so cool, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Understood.
But like,
Positive gnarly.
the trauma aspect of ER, like that gets pretty. Plus, I did night shift for 2 years, so like trauma night shift, like you see some
Okay.
gnarly stuff.
I don't
All
know,
right,
dude.
I
You've
got
been
you.
a counselor at a middle school retreat
That
before.
is so true.
Coach, you've seen some gnarly stuff,
That
brother.
is so true.
Overseeing middle
Yeah.
school young boy.
Yeah,
That's
that
almost
is-
an
Oh,
ER
Lord.
trip in and of itself.
yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Now, this next question, I'm going to ask you a Bible character kind of question. And the only rule is you can't answer by saying Jesus.
Okay.
So it's the only circumstance in your life where Jesus is not the answer. Okay. Do you have a favorite Bible character? Or is there a character that just resonates with you?
I gotta say David.
Boom.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think, well, just obviously David and the Goliath, but dude, just being like, if we circle back to like just the daily grind and taking down like giants, I'm with that, baby.
He also just had an awesome movie.
Now he did it with like one
Yeah.
huge, just one movement.
Yeah.
And I would have to like definitely chip away over years to take out the
A
Goliath.
lot of slings and a lot of
But
stones.
that's what I resonate with. I'm like, hey,
That's it.
let's just take this giant down. No, when it's happening, but we're doing it.
That is it. Great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Excellent answer. Okay. The world needs to know, cat person or dog person?
If every cat just poofed off the world, I'm happy with it.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yes.
Strong
Yeah,
answer.
they serve literally no
Definitive.
purpose.
Right? Oh,
Yikes. We're doubling down.
I don't mind being around. I guess I don't mind being around a cat. Like I'm not freaking out, but
Okay.
nah, dogs.
Okay.
1000%.
there you
Except
go.
for my sister's cats. They're sweet. They can stay.
There you go.
We'll talk about that later.
All right. So if you, and this is just right off the top of your head, Is there, and you've been around this guy, this worship leader guy named Brad Williams your whole life. Is there a worship song that's like popping for you right now?
Throw open the door.
No way.
Really?
What
there.
a throwback.
You don't know
Oh, it's a throwback.
That's a Brad and Lisa.
gosh.
Throw open the
Hold on.
door.
Preface: if you listen to it, I warn you, you will like repeat it for the next
Embedded,
year.
it's in there.
Yeah, it's a tune that just is like it doesn't go away. So
It's a Brad and Lisa original?
It is.
It
yes.
is.
We wrote it.
Throw open the door.
I believe they were like hired by somebody to create a song for like a movie or something, right?
Yeah, we actually,
Okay.
for a low budget movie that never
Anyways,
had the budget to make the movie.
but
we made the song, Dad.
There you
it's a
go.
catchy song, but
Dude,
just beware.
that is so
Yeah.
cool. All right, so if you could and this is from like comic book characters or superhero movie characters,
Yeah.
a superpower, what would you choose?
Superpower. See,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say superhero, and I was going to say Iron Man, and I could go days on Iron Man because I have like a fake heart, and he has a fake heart. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
So
good.
you're-
That's a
Yeah.
great answer. We're going with that.
Okay, yeah.
All
Superpower
right.
could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like
Just
billionaire.
there you go.
Quoted
All
from the
right.
movie. Anyways,
Man, that is
Sorry.
awesome. No, good stuff. All right, so the final question is, what would you like to be remembered for?
oh man, and you ready for this?
I
This
think
is
so.
just something that has hit me in the last year. And shout out my fiance. We're getting married May 2nd. She has really spoken this over me, and I'm going to start to cry. I have really, really prayed and really sought God over breaking off generational curses. And I would like to be known as, even if it's just from my fiance, as the husband and the man that broke off a generational curse. And our son, if we're blessed to have one, did not have to struggle with that, because this is something that my husband took ownership of. And yeah, I mean, first of all, thanks for the question. And that is just
Thank you for the answer.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I get chills just thinking about it. That is like
Right there with you.
That is a big deal, man.
Yeah.
That's thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I think everybody listening is like, whoa.
Yeah.
I think God's speaking through
and-
that answer. So
yeah.
thank you.
I'm with you.
Awesome stuff, Brad.
Dude,
where
I'm-
do you find friends like this, dude?
I'm sorry. I'm cheesing from ear to ear. I knew this was going to be awesome, but you know what I love the most is I never know, and we never do with these incredible interviews and these credible guests that we have, where the conversation's going to go. And I love how, in large part, this was building up for this big miraculous moment, right?
Yeah.
And yet, the biggest takeaway is leaning into the everyday moments
right.
of life.
There's-
And I mean, what an encouragement, dude.
I was so excited to come on here and like lean into that because like what just I mean, we could go on forever,
Yeah.
but what y'all are doing is really feeding my soul. And,
man.
And I hope that encourages people listening, and they probably feel the same way. That like, listening to this is just, you're on the journey. You guys are on the journey with them. And not only are you giving them scripture and life lessons, you're bringing like humor to it. And I mean, it really is refreshing just to listen to y'all just go back and forth and banter. And it's relatable. It's a breath of fresh air. It's educational. And y'all are just some cool guys too, so it's nice.
Did you pay him to say that? I mean, did you?
And he crushed the script, by the way. It was all, no, kidding.
Stop.
No, seriously though, thank you so much,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
This has been
thanks for
absolute highlight for us.
This is
Thank you.
awesome, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, man. Well, Richard, I don't know how on earth we're supposed to come down from this mountaintop experience
Right.
of
Well-
this incredible episode. But Evan, thank you for being here, brother. Richard, thank you for being a part of the conversation.
Yes, sir.
Lord, thank you for being in this conversation.
Amen.
Yes, Lord.
And you guys tune in next week for another episode of Sermons on the Side.
That is so good. Now I got to tell you, the only thing I'm disappointed with about this interview
What happened? What did we do?
is that I didn't get to let the world know that this young man, Evan Hinson, is with me on the carrot cake thing.
Yeah. Yeah, 1000%.
No,
He is with me,
we
man.
talked about this on the front end, but
Yeah.
no.
I don't care. I don't care if you put carrots in a blender and it just looks like orange puree and you pour it on a cake.
Yeah.
I'm out.
See?
I'm out.
That's it.
Yep.
I knew there was something special about this.
when he walked
right.
in,
Yeah,
I
just sensed
the
the
spirit of God,
connection.
the spirit of pumpkin hate was just oozing out of his pores.
Oh, God. That is so
Whatever,
good.
dude.
But, man, thank you. This was awesome.
This is great, man.
What a great